Trick on the scroll down, tech reflected, feel the code. Now you're being directed. Frank's world on your screen. I'm never alone. Insights in a stream in the digital zone. Frank's world on your screen. I'm never alone. Insights in a stream in the digital zone.
Hello. Is my audio working?
Yes, your audio is working.
Awesome. I always like to check because there have been times when when I've been talking and like it's like there's nothing going on. So
Are
my
you
name is.
are you
I'm sorry.
taping? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're streaming live.
Oh,
So
perfect.
and then when this is ultimately hello future people, we'll put this on the Impact Quantum podcast feed.
Awesome.
Which if you're not subscribed, go to impactquantum.com or search for it wherever you get your podcasts. You can check out me at Frank Diggs Data on most of the socials. And you can also go to franksworld.com, datadriven.tv, and of course, impactquantum.com. How's it going, Candace? You're excited.
Oh,
I can
great. I'm
tell.
so excited. I am, not gonna lie. I'm very excited. We've just launched a new project that we're feeling really good about
Yep.
here at Impact Quantum.
So I have the QR code up there, and let's show it to the world. And big shout out to Candace because you've really been the driving force behind a lot of this. So I think everybody knows about our country reports. Hopefully,
Those have been great. I have to tell you, I launched those. Oh my goodness.
A couple weeks ago, it was late August, I think.
Right. And we got out, I mean, a lot of reports, right? Like over 20 different reports of different countries. And the idea was to understand what does quantum look like in everybody's world. And, how are they invested in it? Is it just government? Is it just theoretical ideas of how they want to move everybody forward? Is it actually industry? And by creating these reports and comparing them to each other, it really gave you the opportunity to understand the idea of the readiness scale.
100%. So
Do you want to talk about that?
if you're listening to this it's going to be at impactquantum.com/industry report. There'll probably be something we'll add to the menu too, because Candace knows how much I love WordPress and love WordPress. It's not the content management system we deserve. It's not the content management system we need. It's the content management system we deserve. That's all I have to say. That having been said, like if you're a WordPress guru and you're within the sound of my voice, reach out. I'm reaching that point of, you know what, just pay somebody else to do it. I'm almost there.
It's not a bad idea to outsource.
No,
it's really important to understand where your talents lie.
exactly.
And
right where you add value, right? So one of the success gurus, and Candace knows I'm like a course junkie and Success Coast junkie. But one of the guys I listen to is he has this. It's Dean Graziosi, and he has this phrase of you should have a to-do list, but also a not to-do list. And slowly, again, I'm not a web developer anymore, right? Like I left that world a number of years ago. So, which is funny because this is a web report, but we'll get into that a little bit. So what I did was I collated all the data and basically put it into a common format, and then had AI build this wonderful UI around it. So what you can do is you can see, pick an industry, Candace, any industry. I think you're on mute.
My dog, the doorbell rang. My dog was having an issue.
I was wondering, is that your dog or mine? And
that was mine.
Like, yeah,
that was mine. But let's pick energy because it's actually really exciting.
That's also very timely.
Oh, okay.
So when you click on an industry, so first off, we have it broken out into 6 industries for now, right? Energy, pharma and life science, finance, aerospace, defense, and AI/ML, right? maybe we'll rename that to tech or something like that. So let's click on energy. And you have an instant. Now, some of this is based on data of reports that you've not yet released, right? So
Correct.
how many industry reports you have? About like 15?
20,
20.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be releasing those, I don't know, at a cadence of, we've been debating this like 1 or 2 a week, 3 a week. I don't know. She's very proficient and prolific. So you have kind of the major companies that are involved in this, right? For energy, ExxonMobil is partnered with IBM for maritime logistics. That investment is undisclosed, right? So we're pulling this all from open, data, right? So there's nothing
Correct.
crazy there. Tesla, battery material optimization. And if you hear me talk about like all the things that quantum can really fix, one of which is going to be logistical, and then the other is going to be, kind of the battery material enhancements, right? As someone who's built kind of like off-grid solar kind of charging systems, it's actually now the battery parts are more expensive than the panels. So, and the energy storage challenges, right? So we have the challenges and the opportunities here, and basically kind of all this has to go time to market, right? And then if you wanted to also kind of factor, speaking of time, you can do kind of the near term. You filter it on near term projections, right? So the next 2 years, the next 3 to um, 3 to 7 years, and then beyond that, right? And you'll see kind of like the progress towards those goals will change based on what you're picking, right?
Right. And this is all volume. Think of this all as like volume 1 of this information, because we're going to be doing a follow-up on this, and then we'll be able to see, who was able to stick with their timelines, who's
Mhm.
become even more, aggressive in their innovation, and that's exciting to see. It's
Yeah,
exciting to see the different the different sectors evolve.
right. 100%. And because I'm a big fan of network graphs, and that's a great way to visualize things, we also created a network graph.
I love this. I love
Yeah.
this. Show them this, Frank. I love
So
this.
this is cool, right? So let's just say, hey, look, I see JP Morgan in here, right? Let's click on them. We can see, well, to no surprise, they're really only connected to finance. But what about energy? What companies are attached to energy, right? There's a bug in it. I will fix it. I'm aware of it. If I drag these nodes around, I was hoping I'd get really cool animations as I drag them around, but I'm
Mhm.
working on that. But you can also drag out the timeline, the different timelines for the year. You can see where does sensing play into effect, right? Sensing is a tie to 2028 to 2032, but also obviously the defense industry, right?
Right.
We also see finance has a number of connections, right? So we'll click on what's supposed to happen is I drag it and I let go. Then if I want to know more about it, I click on it. But right now there's a bug, full disclosure. But you go through here. And eventually, as these reports get published and released, you'll be able to click on, it'll say here, click here for the farmer report. And if you want to really be on top of, if you really want to be on top of, um, hold on one second. Yes. No. No.
So Frank has been
Sorry.
talking.
My
No,
son is
all
home.
good.
One of my kids is homesick and he wants to let the dogs out, but the guys are out doing the lawn.
Oh no, forget the dogs will have a fit.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
Exactly. So I was very excited about releasing these reports, and Frank just went and we started vibe coding this, which was really, really exciting because live doing the code and having things develop was just, for someone who doesn't code, it was incredibly gratifying to see it come alive. And I'm like, ooh, let's make these connections easier to see. Can we move around the nodes? And Frank's like, we're going to vibe code it. We're going to move around the nodes. And then all of a sudden it showed us a revised version. And it was very, very exciting.
And you could zoom in, all these things, right? And this is something that, yes, well, technically I could do. I could actually do this, right? But I don't do front end development anymore, right? It's just something I don't do, and it's just not. Again, it goes back to what we said earlier, right? Like there's a to-do list and a not to-do list, right? So it just makes more sense. And there's a couple of projects we have cooking that are basically based on that. I have the idea. I have effectively the requirements documents written down. So now instead of me struggling to how do I install Electron?
Right.
How do I get
Well, let's
Electron to
learn
do this?
React. Like,
Really, let's learn React. And like again, something I would love to do, but I have 3 kids, 4 dogs, and all this going on. But this has been really good in terms of making that happen, right? Plus, 2 podcasts with the third one in pre-production now.
ooh, very exciting.
So it's one of those things where that plus I like to read too, right? So here's a plug for this guy was a guest on the previous episode of Data Driven, so definitely check it out. But
And that's something else we're going to have pretty soon too, as well, right? Do you want
that's right. You want to show the what we call Project Codename Bookie?
code? Yes, if you
We'll
want
have
to.
a better name for it
Yes.
once it's done, but
it's going to be our quantum bookshelf, and it's going to include,
Yes.
number one, all the books from people who have been guests on our show, which is just really gratifying. But then also, what we see that's out there in the marketplace that really is resonating with people. Oh,
Right.
and our latest book.
Oh, of course. How could we forget?
That's right.
Let me pull out the. There we go.
The Quantum Sales Playbook, selling outcomes, not qubits. And it's on sale now. You can get it at Amazon Kindle.
And we've sold a couple of copies actually. So the real point of this book was, in my day job in the last few years, I've been in sales, right? I've been in sales at Microsoft, and then I led the go-to-market motion for Red Hat OpenShift AI, right? And kind of a lot of the conversations we had on the podcast with these founders were eerily familiar with early AI conversations, whether that was at Microsoft or whatever. And I realized like the problem isn't specific to quantum, right? Although that is kind of what this is branded as, right? It can apply to any emerging tech, right? And you sell outcomes, not qubits, not neural networks, not whatever the next cool gadget's going to be. If you're selling robots, on a manufacturing line, you're selling a faster output per hour, right? You're not selling robots. That's really what you're selling, a solution. You sell solutions, not technology.
Exactly.
Right? And that I think that's a key differentiator that I think a lot of people need to learn, right? And as we talk to these startup founders, as we talk to all of these folks, we realize very quickly that this is the same problem, right? One of our guests was talking about how they realized that they needed a customer success org to go in and actually install these devices, right? Because at the end of the day, someone will have to rack and stack these. Even if it's a cloud solution, right? Even somebody at Amazon or Microsoft is going to have to do it, right? So keep that in mind. And if you are listening and you're part of an incubator or kind of a startup hub, or what do they call it? Maison Quantum in France, I think.
The House of Quantum.
House of Quantum. We'll give you a copy for free, right? Because we want it's $7.99, right? We're not making a ton of money off of this, right? I want people to, I want this ecosystem to grow, and I want people to read our stuff because it's great.
You know what?
That's really what I want. And I want
is.
startups to succeed, whether they're in France, whether they're in San Francisco, whether they're in Maryland. There's a huge quantum lab in Maryland, dude, all I ask, I'll give you a free copy. Just reach out. And if you want to have coffee, dude, that's even better. Just don't make me eat at IKEA. That's all I ask. The joke behind that is College Park also has the IKEA in town. So, but no, I mean, that's the point, right? Like that's what I want to do. We also have the other book.
That's right.
Quantum
Curious, your gateway to the next computing revolution.
And this is really more of a career guide, right? So if you're, don't get kind of thrown around that. But we are going to have a site, Quantum Bookshelf. It is a bit behind schedule. It is mentioned in one of the books. It's a site. It's right now. It's another WordPress thing. But yeah, so definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. And um, yeah, but definitely check out the Quantum Industry Report, and I think you'll like it. And then
And tell
this
us what
is
you think. Like, you say, hey, what about, have you guys looked into, XYZ sector? And,
right.
we'll know if we have, and if we haven't, then that's great. Let's investigate it and see what's going on. It's just really thrilling. Like I was so turned on to it after I did education.
Right.
And I just really hadn't thought of education that way.
Well, education is obviously a big industry. And this was one of the debates you and I had, right? When we were working on the site, you wanted there actually was going to be a global visualization, right? But education applies in every country, right? Like, or it should anyway, right? So like, what does that look like? And there's different angles of education, right? There's educating folks on quantum or using quantum to enhance this, right? So like really, what does that look like was really kind of the debate you and I had about that.
Right. And also looking at what quantum does inside of education. So for
Yep.
example, what quantum's ability is gonna have in neurodiversity diagnoses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just mind-boggling how much better it's going to become.
Which was even though we're talking about that, we're kind of also debating, well, is that pharma and life science, right? This is all my data people know. Categorizing stuff is like half the battle, right? Whoops.
No, it's good. Everything's moving on the
There you go.
screen. I'm loving it.
Everything moves on the
It's
screen.
all dynamic.
And if you're just listening, then you're blissfully unaware of that crazy animation we just saw. But I mean, check it out.
I did want to emphasize that truly the impetus behind the Quantum Sales Playbook was the podcast. And really
Absolutely.
what these industry leaders were telling us about how, they're selling quantum themselves, what kind of roadblocks they're having, and then saying, well, how do you get through the roadblocks? It's like, you really have to get away from, it doesn't matter what the technology is.
Right. And
That's
that's when I had my aha moment in some of those conversations was, yeah, I mean, this is not new, right? The tech is new, but the problem is not, right? And especially if you're a technologist, right? And obviously quantum computing is definitely filled with technologists. Not only that, researchers, PhD types that may not think like the customer, right? That is a mental mind shift, and that book will help you kind of get through it. And definitely let me know. And also, too, the one thing I want to mention is actually part of Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it won't cost you anything.
That's right.
Right. So, like I said, we're not doing it for the money per se. I learn a lot. Like how many shows are we in now? 25, 26?
Yeah. I think we just released our 26th, and
Right.
we
And
say
there's
it
like 4
every
more
single.
in the kitty. There's 4 more like in the queue.
That's right. There's 4 more in queue, and we have a busy month. We're taping another episode tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Really excited about that. But right, it's fascinating information from the kind of people that you want to hear from.
Absolutely. Like, and every person we talked to, we learned so much, whether it was one of our first guests, Harshita,
Mhm.
who was a typical comp sci student who
Right.
found herself kind of like fascinated by this new world, right? And she made a switch, right? And we're really early. And our guest we recorded yesterday, he also was a comp sci student, but now
Right.
he's getting his master's at the MIT of Canada. What's it called again? Windsor? Waterloo. I knew it had a W.
Right. And that was really fascinating to hear,
Mhm.
right in it. What is he doing? What is interesting to him, and where he sees that aspect going in the next couple of years. And he was really
Right.
fascinated with error correction. So, everything to him was really kind of in that zone. But it was really nice to talk to somebody who was kind of specializing in something that we've talked about and we've heard several times.
Hey, look what I'm just noticing in the chat. Jeff Fritz.
Oh, great friend, great
Yep.
guy.
And we used to work together at Microsoft. But what if you want to buy a new video card to run the coolest Olama models? Hey, man, I have an affiliate link for that. I just don't have it available. But you know, you won't be able to. I actually have my gaming machine that my kid uses, and one of the reasons he was down here was he was trying to let me convince him to unlock it, but I'm like, he was homesick today, and I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Like when I was a kid, it was Price is Right, and like the usual kind of like daytime TV. No, you're not going to get to play Jurassic Park all day.
It's whammy, no whammy, right?
No, that's right. That's Press Your Luck. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. That was
And
that's right.
So that's earlier on a previous stream I talked about this computer I got. It was a floor model at Micro Center, and it's basically got like a high-end GPU. It's like a mini PC, so it's meant to be very portable. So I actually have that up in the kitchen, and then I can remote desktop into it. So while he's home at night, he plays video games. While it's during the daytime, I run AI models on it, right? Like so. I actually got the video generator working too. So like, you know, there's all sorts of fun stuff we have planned. But
Cool.
but good to see Jeff tuning in. That's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. But yeah, so we really just want to do this today to talk to you about this incredible visualization of the quantum computing industry roadmap. And you know, you're hearing about it. You're hearing about innovation every day. Like if you're following this at all, it's just so much going on. It's so very quick, and you've got to keep up. But it's exciting. It's just such exciting information to see, you know, what's happening and where you might have a place in it. Right.
Absolutely. And you know, this by having an industry focused approach, this is good for everybody, right? It's good for industry, it's good for consultants. But if you're trying to figure out like, hey, I'm already in the aerospace business or energy business, how does this affect me, right? I would imagine if you're in the defense industry, you're probably well aware of what this all means. But you know, you get to see the risk rewards, and you know, this is definitely, I think, a growth market, and I think this is just demonstrates that.
Absolutely.
So I'm very happy about this, and if you want to be up to date on the very latest happenings of when these reports go out, I think we announce it to our newsletter subscribers. So just go to impactquantum.com, click join.
We'd love to have you.
You can join our list, and you'll be among. And I think you get a free copy of at least you get a free copy of Quantum Curious.
Correct.
For joining.
Yes.
And that's all automated, so that'll happen automatically. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So very excited about this. Good to hear from folks on the live stream. I'll flash up the QR codes one more time. There's the quantum industry up there, and then the book is right here. Definitely check it out. If you already have Kindle Unlimited, it won't cost you a thing to do it, right? And you can just buy it outright. We're going to raise the price in a couple of days because I do think it's valuable. And honestly, most of these sales playbooks, these sales type of books go for way more than that, right? So, so that's all it is. And if we sell enough, maybe I will get that fancy GPU that Jeff was talking about. Who knows? I don't know.
He's got dreams. They're good dreams.
I got dreams too.
It's good stuff.
Dreams too. Every time, like I'm in front of like at Micro Center also, right? Like I'm in front of the glass case where they keep like the real expensive ones. I'm like, oh, should I? No. Well, mostly because like my big concern is like, well, you know, in 6 months that $2,000 GPU will be $1,500, right? And that $1,500 GPU will be $1,000, right? So it's kind of like, will I use it? I don't know.
Can I wait 6 months?
Can I wait 6 months, and then what happened in 6 months? There'll be a new $2,000 GPU that will be even better, right? So it's this analysis paralysis. in a quantum state, if you will, of
Oh,
superposition between
oh,
GPUs.
the superposition, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So definitely check it out, and we're working on some cool projects,
Yeah, we are.
and best way to stay connected is impactquantum.com, or you can follow Candace or I on the socials.
Oh, and the Instagram. Don't tell them about the Instagram account.
That's right. We have an Instagram account now. Let's see. I will load that up. We are Impact Quantum Podcast.
Mhm.
Let me load our profile page. And let's see, Instagram. So you follow us on Instagram. We have a couple of likes and stuff like that, but we're pushing a lot of content there too. And eventually we're going to start streaming there. So
Okay, that'd be
as well.
exciting.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff that's here. And let us know what you'd like to see. I mean, we're very, hey, we're up to 5 followers now. Nice.
Right?
And we only started this, what, Monday?
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
Yeah.
Right? But that's it. We want to get we get the information out on another platform.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out there and you're interested in quantum and you're curious, then you come to us and we'll be explaining things to you that way.
And we've been getting good numbers on the Instagram too, in terms of traffic. So
Yes.
whatever it is, the algorithm loves us. So I don't know.
And on YouTube,
YouTube is doing gangbusters. So yeah, that's
YouTube,
another thing. Let me go there too now. So
like it's funny. We have like over 5,000 hours.
Yep.
I think like something like 5,000 hours listened or something, or 10,000 hours viewed, but
something like that. Yeah.
It's really doing incredibly well.
And normally this live stream would also be broadcast there, but for reasons it's not right now. But we put our shows there, so if you can't get enough, of us listening to us on whatever platform you like, you can actually see the video recordings too. And we also have a bunch of other stuff too here. Various shows that we have with other people that are affiliated with us, and may or may not be related to us. Who knows? We have a lot of content here, so highly recommend you check it out. We already have almost 600 videos, Candace. Can you believe it?
I really am shocked.
Now, some of those include shorts, but
still, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely resonating. We're getting out what people want to hear about, and that makes us very happy. That's why we want to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll be happy to. If you want to be on the show, just let us know. We're not hard to find. We're on multiple channels now, and maybe we'll do like a shout out to people and stuff like that, or maybe like a free copy of something.
Yeah. Just talk to us, let us know, and like, oh, have you looked into this? And say, oh, we haven't yet, but but now we will.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right. Well, since this is going to be a podcast episode too, I'll say it here. We'll let the AI finish the show. And then if you're watching live, you'll get to see my fancy Frank's World outro graphics.